Okay, let's do a review on the 1986 American League champion Boston Red Sox. Let's get started with the offense as we always do. We look at the top of the order, pretty much set in stone every day. You had Wade Boggs 1, Marty Barrett 2. You see their on base chance numbers right there. Typical terrific card out of Wade Boggs in 1986. Just an absolute on base machine. And you get solid numbers out of Marty Barrett in the two hole. Now let's take a look at the Red Sox heart of the order. Let's take a look at Bill Buckner, Jim Rice, Don Baylor, and Dwight Evans. Let's take a look at their hits with multiple base advancement. You could see their numbers check out decent. It's a lineup that definitely benefits when they are playing at home and you are playing with the ballpark effects. For example, just to give you an idea, the ballpark effects singles for left-handed hitters on a D20, it's 1 to 19. For righties on a D20, it's 1 to 15. Home runs on a D20, left-handed hitters 1 to 7, and home runs for right-handed hitters on a D20 is a 1 through 10, and that definitely factors into the cards, especially for Jim Rice and Don Baylor. They each have a couple of fly ball outs where when you're playing ballpark effects, you'll be rolling for a possible home run. I do wish the numbers on the surface were a little bit higher, but let me go ahead and extend this list a little bit by showing you the numbers for White Evans, Dave Henderson, and Rich Gedman. So you could see you have pretty solid production as you go deep into the order. And to me, that is really what is key when I'm grading the righty lefty mix and the offensive depth score. I like the fact that you have guys like Dwight Evans, Dave Henderson, and Rich Gedman, who were basically your 6, 7, 8 hitters in the order, and you get nice numbers out of them. So if we're to look at the 86 Red Sox, I graded them out offensively as a very good score of a 4.3 out of 5. You could see my final scores there on base percentage. I gave him a perfect score of a 5 out of 5, and I gave him fours in the other two categories. I know the lineup is a little bit tilted towards the right-handed side of the plate. So if this is a team that is facing a pitcher who has a right-handed pitcher who has a really good card against right-handed hitters, you could run into a little bit of a problem facing that. But I do like the fact that on their cards, specifically Jim Rice, Don Baylor, and Dave Henderson, I like the fact that there is really no real drop off when you look at their splits when it comes to hits against lefties and hits against righties. So I am a fan of that. So the 86 Red Sox, not a big surprise to me, grade out offensively with a very good score of a 4.3 out of 5. Now let's take a look at the defense. Let's get started up the middle with second base, shortstop. As always, you can see you're pretty solid there. Marty Barrett and Spike Owen. Never crazy about having a 3 at one of the two positions, but you're still looking above average at second base and shortstop. Let's take a look at the outfield defense. You're very solid out here. You've got the 1-3 in left field, and you've got a 2 and a 1 in center field and right field, respectively. So you're looking solid there. Let's look at the E ratings. Let's stay in the outfield. All of the E ratings in the outfield check in pretty good. No real issues there. Middle infield E ratings, you're very good at second base and shortstop. That's a good thing about Spike Owen at short, even though he's a 3. His E rating is pretty much in line. The only real big issue I take is in the corner infield. You're good at third base with Boggs. In fact, I would probably say off of memory, this is probably one of Wade Boggs' better ratings, both his grade and his E rating. Very solid numbers out of Wade Boggs in 1986 playing third base. But you can see first base is an issue with Bill Buckner. The 3, I'm not that concerned about, but the E17, that is way, way too high for first base. And it's really too bad because that brings down the entire defensive score. As you could see, my final score for the Red Sox defense comes out to a 3.6 out of 5. So let's move on to the starting rotation. Let's get started with the ace, obviously, Roger Clemens. You see his numbers right there. Not going to spend a lot of time talking about this card. This is a very easy score for me. He gets a perfect score of a 5 out of 5. Just a terrific card. The only blemish on his card is there is a little bit of a power issue of him giving up home runs against right-handed batters. But if you're able to dance around that, you've got no issues with Roger Clemens as your number one in the Red Sox rotation. Now let's take a look at the starting rotation depth. Let me show you the numbers for Bruce Hurst, Oil Can Boyd, Tom Seaver, who joined the Red Sox late that year, and Al Nipper. And you could see the on base chance numbers check out well above average. The issue that I take with Bruce Hurst and Oil Can Boyd is both of them have some power problems facing left-handed batters. A little too much opportunities of giving up home runs, and that could be a little bit of a issue, especially if you're playing in the wrong park. Once again, the ballpark effect home run in Fenway Park for 1986 for a left-handed batter on a D20 is a 1 through 7, so it's not like it's an automatic home run. But if you're playing in the wrong park, those can be a little bit of an issue. I actually think Tom Seaver has a pretty solid card from 1986. His on base chance numbers check out pretty good, and Al Nipper is basically what he is. He's the number 4 starter on the team. So not too crazy about his card. He does have decent numbers against left-handed batters, but let's face it, if you're sitting down and you're playing with a friend and you're playing like a best of 5 or a best of 7 and you're playing with the 86 Red Sox, you're going to go Clemens, Hurst, and Boyd as your 3 starters in a short series. So as we look at the 86 Red Sox rotation, you're going to see that they grade out with a very good score of a 4 out of 5. Obviously, a lot of that is driven by Roger Clemens. He gets a perfect score of a 5 out of 5. I only gave the starting rotation depth a score of a 3 out of 5 because I only think they are just a little bit above average. Yeah, the on base chance numbers for Hurst and Boyd on the surface look really good, but like I said before, if you're playing in the wrong park, those ballpark effect home runs can really come back to hurt you. So that's something to keep an eye on. Now let's move on to the Red Sox bullpen. Let's take a look at the closer, Calvin Schiraldi. You see his on base chance numbers on the surface. Once again, numbers look excellent, especially against left-handed hitters. Only issue with Calvin Schiraldi's card is a few too many power opportunities when he faces right-handed batters. It is a help, though, however, that Schiraldi that year was a 3-inning reliever. That will factor into his score at the end. So you're looking pretty good with the closer being Calvin Schiraldi. Now, let's spend a little time talking about the bullpen depth. Let me show you the numbers for Steve Crawford, Joe Sambito, Rob Woodward, and Bob Stanley. You see their on base chance numbers. You're going to see that I X'd out the numbers facing left-handed batters for Crawford and Woodward. And I did that on purpose just to make this point. This Red Sox bullpen in 1986, even though you don't have that lockdown, obvious setup guy to get the ball to your closer, Calvin Schiraldi, this is one of those examples of a bullpen where you just have to sit down and manage it properly when you're going through a game with the Red Sox. Crawford and Woodward both have excellent numbers getting right-handed hitters out. In fact, Woodward's card, he doesn't have any hits on his card against right-handed batters. That 4 for 33 is all walks on his card. And the 4 out of 33 is a tremendous number. That's an excellent number. And you see Joe Sambito's numbers. He's very effective at getting left-handed hitters out. And I showed you Bob Stanley's numbers. His card is just okay. The numbers are a little bit high. The one thing that I would say about Bob Stanley's card that I like is he is pretty effective at keeping the ball in the ballpark, at least. His card isn't flooded with ballpark effect home runs. So this is going to be one of those examples where I'm going to give the Red Sox bullpen depth a score of a 2.5, meaning it's just average. And what that means is it's average so long as you just manage it properly. Once again, Crawford and Woodward, you want to stay away from them facing left handed batters. You really don't want Joe Zambito facing right handed hitters. So what you have here is you have three relievers that it's going to be up to you to manage the team properly and do a little mixing and matching as you try to get the ball to your closer in the late innings. So as we look at the Red Sox bullpen, you see they grade out at a 3.25 out of 5. The score for Calvin Schiraldi, I landed on that score based on the fact that I do like his numbers when it comes to on base chances. And I also really like the fact that he's a 3 inning reliever. That's a big help, especially with this bullpen where you don't really have, like I said before, that lockdown, obvious setup guy. Again, the only blemish on Calvin Schiraldi's card is little too many power opportunities when he faces right-handed hitters. So as we look at the 1986 Red Sox as a whole, you're going to see that they grade out with a good score of a 3.8 out of 5. This is a team where I really feel what I really believe is this is really one of the better teams from the 1980s Diamond Gem set that Strat-O-Matic released with the 1980 American League teams. If you're to just look at the cards, I would say that this team is only behind the 89 A's and the 84 Tigers in terms of just how effective a team they are in Stratomatic. I do have to put one asterisk on that note, however. I have not done a team analysis yet on the 1983 Orioles. I would say, however, playing with the Orioles in the past, I'd be surprised if I don't get the Orioles to at least this same score or maybe even slightly higher, even approaching a 4 score. But I definitely would say that the 86 Red Sox are better than teams like the 81 Yankees. They're definitely better than the 87 Twins. I think they're about the same as the 85 Royals. So the moral of the story is the 86 Red Sox can hold up to any of the teams released in the 1980s Diamond Gem set. The positives on the team are you got a very good offense where you have two really good table setters at the top of your lineup, and you have really nice depth throughout the lineup where you really don't have any automatic outs, even as you get to the 9 hole with Spike Owen. The only real blemish when it comes to the defense is you've got too high of an E rating at first base. You've got a 3 at short, and Jim Rice in left field, he's a 3. His E rating is well in line, no issues with his E rating, but we all know threes can be a little bit of a problem in the outfield when you're playing. So I would say those are the only real issues when it comes to offense, defense, and the issues with the starting pitching. Like I said before, if you're playing in the wrong ballpark with Bruce Hurst and Oil Can Boyd, some of their ballpark effect home runs can be problematic. And the bullpen, I think, is good enough just as long as it's managed properly. So that's how I land on a score of a 3.8 out of 5 for the 1986 Boston Red Sox. Well, I thank you all for watching. It is much appreciated. My next video will be on the 1969 Miracle Mets. Have a good day, everyone.